What's going on, people? Today I will be reviewing Batman Forever, coming up for you guys next. So I am reviewing all of the original 4 Batman films leading up to their 4K releases that are going to be coming out in just a few days as of this recording. And yes, I am bringing back the Green Lantern hat into my Batman reviews because God knows that there is a lot of green neon in this movie, and that is because it is a Joel Schumacher movie. So of course there's going to be a whole lot of neon. He loves it, and at the time I loved it. This movie was my movie of the summer back in 1995. I loved this movie as a kid. And, that was mainly because of the fact that as a kid, I really liked Jim Carrey, and this was the pinnacle of Jim Carrey's career. This was him at the top. He had Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber the year before, and this was his payday, and I was going to be there for it. My thoughts of this movie have changed, and we will talk about them. And the first thing that we're going to be getting into is the fact that Tim Burton has slid into the producer role here, and now we have a different director in Joel Schumacher. Now, Joel Schumacher is quite the polarizing director. Not a whole lot of people like his movies, and I am one of those people. And as a matter of fact, there are only 2 movies that I can say that I wholeheartedly approve of all of his oeuvre, and that is Falling Down. I really do like that movie of just like Michael Douglas just going whole hog nuts. I enjoy that movie a lot. And Phone Booth is pretty good. Other than that, though, his movies are just complete style over substance crap. And no movies epitome that more than his 2 Batman films. And if I could go back and slap my younger self in the face, I would just say, no. This is not what you do to a Batman film. Because he doesn't care about these characters. And you see that right from the beginning with the introduction of Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face as he is robbing a vault that is in a skyscraper that literally rolls out of the skyscraper that it's in. Yeah. There's a lot of things in this movie that don't make sense, and that is one of them. Tommy Lee Jones in this movie just is a shrieking ham through the whole thing. Now, you can say that he is just having fun with this movie. Some people do. But for me, he is insufferable. He is constantly just shrieking at the camera, yelling at the top of his lungs to the point where he just runs out of breath every single scene. And it's just not the character of Two-Face. That character of Two-Face was conflicted and tragic, and this character is not conflicted at all. In the matter of fact, he just wants to flip that coin that he has enough times so it always lands on heads, and he always gets to do the same damn thing every time. There is no decision to make. He's already made it, and it does not fit this character. It bugs me now. And back then, when I saw this movie, I didn't know that much about Two-Face, but now that I know the character and I like him, this is not that character. And I feel like it is a real detriment to this movie. Val Kilmer's Batman is fine. It's serviceable. But his Bruce Wayne is just an emotionless, stiff, wooden board. And it always has bugged me. I didn't even like him when I saw the movie at the time, and it's just gotten worse over the amount of time. I will have to go back to George Clooney. I haven't seen Batman and Robin for quite a while, but I would say that, if that's worse than this, damn. He's just emotionless. He doesn't care. He is just getting through it. And even though I appreciate the fact that he is probably I would say one of two people in this movie that isn't just shrieking at the screen and yelling at the top of his lungs, I would say that this is just a non-performance. He is not acting in this movie. And Nicole Kidman's character of Chase Meridian. Oh, God. Okay, one thing. How do you chase a Meridian? They're pretty stationary. But anyway, other than that, she is not even a character in this movie. She's just like easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. She is just posing like a model through this whole entire movie, and her character is ridiculous. She is a kickboxing therapist that is brought in to assess Two-Face at the beginning of this movie as he is literally robbing the bank. My favorite performance in this movie is actually Chris O'Donnell as Dick Grayson, or Robin here. He gets this character. He has a lot of fun. He is too old for the role, but at the same point in time, I do like his pathos. I do like his interactions with Val Kilmer, and the two of them together make a real good on-screen team at the time. They are the best scenes that Val Kilmer has in this movie, and he is the only character that is semi-loyal to the actual source material, and I do appreciate that. And Jim Carrey as the Riddler here. Now, at the time, I really did love Jim Carrey. I watched In Living Color. I watched Ace Ventura. I watched The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. And I just couldn't get enough of this guy at the time. I was young. But now he is, he has a line in this movie. He never knows when he's over the top, or he never knows when he's he's too much. And let me tell you, it's the truth, because he does not know when he is too much. He is too much at times in this movie, yelling joygasms. It's just not loyal to the character that was on the page. And I realized that Frank Gorshin wasn't that loyal either, but at least he was toned down a little bit, at least compared to this performance. This is just Looney Tunes, crazy town. And he is another one that is just yelling and shrieking at the camera all damn day long. It gets exhausting. And the pacing of this movie and the whiplash-inducing way that this movie is edited just gives me a headache. It's too much. And the whole plot here just doesn't make sense, where Riddler has the box and he is going to suck everybody's brain waves, and it just gets muddled and confusing. Why would he team up with Two-Face just to rob banks so he could get the money for the box? And I know that they're trying to set up this dichotomy, Two-Face wants to kill Batman, and Riddler wants to kill Bruce Wayne for what Bruce did to him. But it really gets muddled and kind of confusing, and you can tell that that's not what they care about. What they care about is the style here, and is what I can't stand about Joel Schumacher as a director. He is style over substance in the worst possible way. The garish lighting in this movie, it will definitely be toned up in the next film, but it is definitely, definitely here. And by the end, you literally feel like you have seen like every color of the rainbow in just neon form. Oh, I liked the aesthetic of the first two Batman films. Now, granted, the last one was just almost like monochromatic. It was just almost like a black and white movie. It was so just dark and just full of blacks and whites. But what I will say is that it had a coherent vision. And this movie is just all over the place. It's a freaking mess. The action is competently done, even though it does just really disobey the cardinal rule of action where it needs to progress the plot. That is mainly why you have an action scene. It needs to have a purpose. And these action scenes don't progress anything. Yeah, this movie is a real garish fever dream of a mess. I'm going to, again, be real generous here and give this a 4 out of 10. This is a tone-deaf movie that really struggles to find its footing. And they make a clear distinction where they don't want Tim Burton's vision anymore, because this is just a kidified version of those films. So next, people, I do have to get into Batman and Robin. That will be one for the books as far as my reviews goes, and I know you guys are going to be looking forward to that. That's going to be a real fun one to put together and talk about. So if you are looking forward to that, subscribe down here so you can know when that video comes out. And let me know down below if you are a fan of this movie like I was when I was growing up. I really did turn on this movie when I grew older. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't even need to say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.